The Dallas Eldercare Channel is brought to you by the Vermillion Law Firm. Today's guest is Marty Rew, owner of Home Instead of South Fort Worth.
Hi, this is John Vermillion, and I'm an elder care attorney in Dallas, Texas, and I'm a sponsor of the Eldercare Channel. Today we have Marty Rew. Welcome, Marty.
Thank you.
And Marty, you're with Home Instead Senior Care. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Marty, on occasion on the Eldercare Channel, we like to highlight some of our providers of services to seniors.
Great.
And so today we want to talk about Home Instead and the services that you can provide to our senior community in the Dallas area, or I should say Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Correct.
Right?
You bet.
First of all, tell me a little bit about the name of the organization and how that came about.
Well, Homestead Senior Care has been in existence for over 20 years now.
Okay.
We are headquartered in Omaha, Nebraska. We have over 1,000 franchises in 20 different countries, 650 of those being here in the United States and in Canada, and 40 of those being here in Texas.
Wow.
And you have approximately 15 offices in the Dallas-Fort Worth area alone.
Okay.
So we
And
cover
you
quite a bit.
handle one of them.
I
is that correct?
handle
Okay.
one of those offices.
Okay, very
Correct. Yes.
Well, I like the name Home Instead. I know in senior care we have all different levels of care, but everybody wants to stay home instead of going to a facility, right?
That's
Is
exactly
that the
right.
idea, is to try to keep people
That's
at
the
home?
whole intent. And where we line up on that care continuum is really on the very front end. Before you need a lot of, say, medical assistance or care, you are starting to lose maybe some of the things that you'd like to be doing, some of your freedom, some of your independence. Having a caregiver spend some time in your home, doing some of the laundry, the dishes, running some errands for you, cooking your meals, that can extend your ability to remain at home for a longer period of time, be more comfortable in your own environment.
And of course, the various home healthcare providers, they provide different levels of care.
Yes.
You're not medical. It's activities of daily living. Is that
That's
correct?
exactly right. We are strictly non-medical. However, we have different levels of service, from companionship and home helper, which are just that, up to personal care, which include the activities of daily living, and that might be dressing assistance, toileting, bathing assistance. We can provide care in all those. There's nothing medical about that. A little tricky, a little difficult, sometimes some vanity involved.
Certainly.
However, if these aren't things that you need a nurse or any sort of a practitioner for. So we can provide that care. We also have specialized training for our caregivers to provide care to dementia and Alzheimer's patients, to Parkinson's, diabetes patients, and in the ways in which the behaviors and the needs are for those folks, we try to specialize in the care that we provide to them as well.
Now, I think it's interesting that you say you have an international organization, but I don't hear your advertisements on the radio or TV like some other nationally known
Yes.
organizations. So how are you, how do you market to the community?
Well, that's a great question, and we are currently, you'll see our name pop up more and more. As I said, we've been around 20 years and we're hitting more of the national scene. But what we do know for sure is that the communications right here is much more valuable, much more important to develop a relationship and understand the needs of somebody so that we can provide the right fit for that person. So we've built our business, we've built our reputation on that.
Well, I know in law practice, relationships are what count. So it's the same thing in your profession.
I think anything in life is that way.
Now, you told me before we came on the video today that you have kind of an interesting background in that you were at the corporate level of Home Instead and helped to develop the model standards and procedures for the franchise offices. Is that correct?
That's correct. I spent 10 years in Omaha, Nebraska. I was born and raised in that area, and I spent 10 years with them working with owners in the United States and Canada on every aspect of their business, as well as the programs that we roll out to them to provide them all the resources and all the tools that they need to be successful.
And one thing that I liked about our discussion was that you, or I should say Home Instead, has a prescribed methodology, prescribed standards for each one of their franchises. So no matter what franchise a client is dealing with, they know they're going to get a very high level of professionalism and care. So
Absolutely right, and I'm very proud of that. And it's one of the reasons why I made the decision to leave the security and comfort of a corporate world and step into the real world where I could get closer to the seniors and the mission in which we were serving.
yeah, I can certainly appreciate that. So what would you say is the your primary clientele? Who is your sort of target market, so to speak?
Well, our target market is anybody who finds themselves losing a little bit of their independence and wants to do more in their day and remain safe, secure at home. You could say, seniors. I mean, we primarily work with the seniors. Of course, there's such an influx of seniors coming into the market every day, but they don't all need help. We look at 65 as a senior, but how many, really need help at 65
That's right.
anymore?
That's right. Well,
People are doing wonderful.
people are staying healthier longer.
Absolutely.
Like you said, if we can keep them home instead of having to go to a facility, they're going to be happier and
And it's
better
that
off.
active lifestyle that keeps them healthy, keeps them moving, keeps them engaged. So if they see that they're losing that, that's where we can get out. We can assist them. We can give them that so they can remain healthy, remain happy, engaged.
Give the viewers an example of a client where perhaps you went over and above the call of duty, so to speak, and really helped somebody in a big way.
Oh my gosh.
Is there too many to say?
Well, yeah, it's one of those. How do you narrow it down? Because we believe that's what we're there for.
Certainly.
And our caregivers are there. When last year in this particular area, we had a couple days where we had an ice storm, then we had a snowstorm.
Yeah, people are shut in.
Absolutely. So we made arrangements with our clients, and many of our caregivers spent the night, knowing the storm was coming in, spent the night with them and stayed all night and
Wow.
had the provisions and everything that they needed to make sure that that client was safe. And that's just something I think we just inherently do because we care. And the people that we're looking for that we bring on board, we look for people with a large heart, somebody who's cared for a loved one, somebody who's going to treat this person like a loved one. And it's not always found. Some people believe that skill is more important. I can train and educate skill, but I can't train people to care.
You got to have the heart. That comes from within,
It does.
not from without. Now, but let's get back to that. They're your employees. You're looking for people with that heart to care for the seniors, but they are background checked and they are bonded and licensed in the whole 9 yards. So.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that because while it's good to have somebody that cares, you also have to be able to trust them.
Got to have both.
We're stepping into somebody's home, and that's the most precious place you can be for them. They're bringing a stranger into their home. We know who they are, so we're going to thoroughly background check them. We're going to drug test them. We're going to make sure that there's nothing in their background that would cause us any concern about putting them into a senior's home. It would be horrible, and it is terrible, the things that can happen out there. And so we're constantly working to ensure the safety and security of the seniors that we care
And then what about, if you are strictly the non-medical part of the home health care, how do you coordinate with the medical providers? What do you?
Yeah, and as I said, being on that front end of the continuum, we have a lot of relationships, and sometimes we have need where a family member is progressing beyond that level of care that we can provide them. So we have relationships with home health, with facilities, with anybody who would be along that path that we could reach out to and say, listen, we've worked with you, you've worked with us, we have a good partnership, we have somebody that we believe you could help. Would you mind getting in touch with them? And we can assist that all the way through. We are advocates for those seniors to help them because the time they're going through it is typically the first or only the second time they've ever done it. They're not experts in it. We do this every day. So the people we work with, we want to make sure that we have trust in them and they can trust in us.
Right. What would you like to say to the viewers in addition to what we've talked about today?
How much time do I get? I'm joking.
As much time as you need, as much time as you want.
Well, you hear a lot of things, you hear from a lot of people. There's a lot of services, even like ours, out there, as well as everything along the road. What I'd like to say to those folks is, um, you know, if you have questions, if you have doubt, don't feel that you're alone. Everybody does. Give us a call. We'll work with you. We'll step you through it. We can assist you. Even if your care or your needs are beyond what we typically provide in our services, we can put you in contact with who can help
That's
you.
it. You can become a resource
Absolutely.
because you have the ability to recognize the needs.
Absolutely,
Yeah, so,
absolutely. And we provide ongoing education for family members. Maybe it's how to handle a difficult situation with a loved one.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a lot of resources that we provide, as well as ongoing education that we can provide them, just like we do our caregivers. This isn't about, use home instead of senior care. This is about, can we help you? And if we can, we're happy to.
Well, absolutely. Well, Marty, I want to thank you for joining us today. Most informative. Home Instead Senior Care. We're going to have all of your information available for our viewers on the video. And thanks again for joining us. This is John Vermillion with Eldercare Channel signing off. Thanks for joining us today.